Is Brianna Lyston Jamaica's next sprint queen? At the recently concluded World Athletics Under 20 Championship that happened in Nairobi, Kenya, I witnessed one of the best executed 200 meters I had seen in quite some time. When young Brianna Lyston, who I had not seen for a while, went into the starting blocks at the women's 200 meters semifinals to execute a perfect 200 meter race. Exploding out of the blocks within the first 3 to 4 steps, she was already ahead of the entire field, and within 10 to 15 meters, she was already in the lead, running what might have been the best curve I've seen in some time, especially in someone as young as 17. I was so impressed with her execution. By the time she executed that bend and made it into the final 100 of the 200 meters, she was already a clear 3 meters ahead of the entire field, approaching her top end speed. Brianna Lyston was so far ahead that she was able to shut down, and I mean literally shut down into coasting mode, maintaining her former ever high knees and arms pumping, relaxed in the face, running through the line. And in that semifinals of 200 meters, young Brianna Lyston had won her heat in a time of 23.18, a new personal best, with a reaction time of 0.153. Having watched an amazing race, I then remembered young Brianna Lyston at age 12, I think, running in class 4, running a remarkable world-leading time of 23.46 at 12, people, at 12 years old. Immediately, people started to call her the next Usain Bolt. In fact, as you can see in this clip, because this is the actual race, she won by such a margin. She was literally about 23 to 25 meters ahead of the entire field. And that field included one, at least, of the Clayton sisters. But I had not seen this young phenom for quite some time. So seeing her executing this remarkable race in Heat 4 of the women's 200 meters at the World Athletics Championships Under 20 was sheer delight. She was clearly back in form, fit and ready, and running a PB in your heat is no simple task. It was a 200 that had always been her speciality. I had seen her race a few times in the 100 meters, but I do remember that 200 was her greatest strength. And I still remember clearly being in absolute shock that a 12 years old, had just won a race by such a margin that, I mean, people, 20 to 25 meters to win by that length at 12, running 23.46, a world lead at the time, and I still think must be one of the greatest times ever run by a 12-year-old girl in a 200 meter. It was just remarkable. I remember seeing her run a few 100 meters, and yes, she was always a very quick, very fast. As you can see here, I think in this race she runs second behind the famous Tia Clayton of the Clayton twins. But what was strange for me is, like many other great young talents that we see here in Jamaica, I had not seen her for quite some time. I didn't even know where she was. In fact, in trying to do this vlog, I'm still trying to find out what had happened, if it was injury, etc., what had happened. But seeing her at that starting line, in Heat 4, and watching her execute it near perfect race, told me that this phenomenal talent, Brianna Lyston of Jamaica, was back to perfect health. In the semifinals, she drew alongside Christine Mboma, the world silver medalist in the Olympic Games, and came second in the semifinals. But what was impressive to me, because people, listen, don't take Christine Mboma lightly. To come second as a youngster, as a teenager, in the Olympic Games behind Lane Thompson-Sahara, you are no walk in the park. In the semi-finals, young Brianna Lyston runs an astounding time of 23.18, equaling her Heat 4 personal best of 23.18. In the finals, however, she runs fourth behind Christine Mboma, Masalinga of Namibia, both of Namibia, and Favor Ofili of Nigeria. Unfortunately, she steps on the line in the finals and is disqualified. But I think seeing her back, obviously in great form, running against, well, two of the fastest young ladies on earth, I still believe that the best is yet to come for young Brianna Lyston, who clearly is back in form and in good health. One of the great dangers of track and field for youngsters, people, injury. I just suspect this must have been injury. I still remember the 12-year-old who astonished the entire world with 23.46 in a Class 4 final at the National Stadium. And as I said, the way she executed Heat 1 tells me that given time, Jamaica's next sprint queen will be this youngster that we all know as Brianna Lyston. So, in your mind, is Brianna Lyston Jamaica's next sprint queen? I would love to hear from you. And as always, bless up!